Okay, party people. DK here with Mr. V Amps, and we have an unplanned project. This is a custom K200B1 bass rig. Wait a minute, didn't we do one of these last year? Well, yes, we did. It's actually over there. Hello. Okay, this one's in no shape for dancing right now, though. Apparently the previous owner who inherited it got a free electric shock from it, and it's really dirty. You can see I had yucky stain on the front grill cloth. Something's missing in the middle. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on a minute. Speaker. Okay, hold on. Let's bring some bright light in here. The bright light in the pocket. Here we go. Bright light. Come on, be bright. Oh, this one's not bright? Why is this not bright? Anyway. Speaker. Empty hole. Cut in the grill cloth. The size of a quarter. And then speaker. Two speakers that are in there do work. So that's a plus. And the head kind of wants to work. Everything's here except for that little silver disc on the knob. Faceplate's not all scratched up. Back of it looks kind of pretty too. Let's wheel it around. Look at that Naugahyde, man. That's the color they call charcoal. That's pretty. Handles are in good shape. It's dirty, but other than being dirty, this is a good project. I'm fairly certain. Original-ish kind of speaker cable, which was plugged into itself. They had this plugged into that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope you didn't turn it on like that. I don't know if they did or not, but it didn't destroy anything. This is K200B1, and the serial number 610030. Alright. I don't know what year this puts it in. This is probably either a very late 60s or an early 70s. From what I understand, that one over there, the cabinet and the head, despite being a visual match, are not matched years, according to the folks on VintageCustom.com. To avoid electric shock, do not remove this cabinet. There are no user serviceable parts inside. Refer servicing to a qualified service personnel. Damn. Guess we won't be fixing this one. I don't think I've ever been officially qualified to do any of this. And let's go visit over here. There's our serial number on our speaker. And these are the CTS drivers. That would be for the bass. The bass has the CTS drivers. Well, what it does have. And there's something rattling around in the cabinet too. So I suppose we should deal with that first. Oh my goodness, the horrors inside. I don't know if this is factory, but there was like a tar sealant all around the back lid to, I guess, seal it with air or something. Ugh, I gotta wash my hands, and I got it on the floor without getting that stuff everywhere. Okay, so after mass amounts of scrubbing, I got that tar off my hands. I don't know if that was weather strip that turned to tar or tar that was there to seal the cabinet. I don't know. I got the base standing up on its screws, so hopefully that won't get on the carpet. And well, we have some evidence of what was going on here. That driver's okay. That driver's gone, and that's a perfect size hole for... oh yeah, somebody was eating good in the neighborhood. Seeds and the first years. So a kid's toy. Some kid must have walked up to it at a later date and said, oh hey look, there's a port there. I think I'll see if I can put a square peg in a round hole. Wonderful. Okay, so vacuum time, and we're going to take the speakers out. And I think we're going to try to really clean that grill cloth, because it really needs it. Okay, Mr. Skullhead is back here, and we have cleaned the grill cloth using our method that we showed a few videos ago, where we don't have to take it outside. It's a dry cleaning method using the carpet cleaning foam. You can look for that on the channel if you wonder how I did that, but it looks a hell of a lot better now. Alright, so we are in search of a speaker driver like that. Those are a bass driver. You can actually see the nice wide surround there. So that's a nice wide surround. These were made by CTS for Kustom. These are from 1970, so that tells us the date of the unit. I have been able to locate somebody who has one and will sell it to me, so that's super cool. Of course it costs more than I wanted to pay, but that's kind of how the world works. But we have located a driver from a Kustom cabinet circa 1968, so as long as the speaker driver is in good working order, it should essentially be the same driver. Hooray. Let's deal with the mouse hole. Okay, so obviously you can see the hole on the amplifier. I have some similar speaker cloth that I used on the BTS series amplifiers. It's close, and considering that the hole is only the size of a 25-cent piece, we're going to try to cut a little patch with that, and then we're going to attach that with some clear glue. There's a clear glue that is essentially like Elmer's glue. It's this, and it seems to work pretty well, and it's washable, water soluble, so if we goof, we can undo our goof. Well, the patch is in place, and of course the glue is extra shiny because it's still wet, and we have two little toothbrushes behind it as little shims to hold it in place till the glue dries. We're using rocket science, high technology here to fix things. Don't tell anybody it's Elmer's glue and two toothbrushes. Shh, secrets. Well, I'll tell you what, since the speaker cabinet, we're waiting on a driver, which I have found. Let's go look at that head, get that thing on the bench, and see what it does or doesn't do. Because it actually does, for the most part. Okay, well, here's some positive news. It's just got a little bit of dust and no mice, so that's a great start. This is very much like our other K200, the black one that we have, in that it's got a lot of not electrolytic capacitors. We have the tantalums in positions where electrolytics may have been before, and a lot of orange drops. So generally pretty good components that we're not really that worried about. I know this thing did give free electric shocks to the previous owners, so we are going to start with the 2-wire power cord. As you can see, it comes up here at the front. Let's just zoom into that area here and operate the camera and point at things all at the same time. Sounds like a great idea. Alright, so we'll come in here. Oh yeah, look at that beauty zoom. Ain't that beauty? Alright, so what we've got is, this is the flip-flop switch. It goes both ways. This goes to the transformer. Common hot wire goes through the fuse to the switch. So hot and common we put there, and then those feed the transformer. And the only difference is when you flip-flop them, which one puts this capacitor to earth, which is represented by this little screw here. This is clamped down. So what we'll do is we'll put the ground point here where this capacitor was, put our power cord in there, and remove this capacitor, and then we will have no more electric shocks and probably a little bit less noise to boot. That is a 0.022 400 volt capacitor, if anybody cares. It looks like it's some kind of orange drop. Those are actually decent quality capacitors, but it's a death capacitor, so it's automatically branded as evil and horrible and must go. Getting beneath this wire without scalding it is a little more of a challenge than I had anticipated. Why wouldn't I not have anticipated this? I've done this job before. Does this one have a different fuse holder or something? Oh my goodness. Get off of there. Good grief. There. Hooray. And is it just me, or does everybody hate these strain reliefs? I know, one of y'all is going, get the right pliers, dude. Well, we just did it with the wrong pliers. So there. Let's see. This has got a zip tie run through here. And then they ran this. Where else did they run this? Because this is like snaked under and through. Okay, it's snaked behind the transformer, but shouldn't be hooked on anything at this point. Hooray. Dusty old power cable out. And our replacement power cable is going to be what was once this extension cord. This was the least offensive color of extension cord that was available at a reasonable price. The long extension cords, usually they like to give you colors like neon orange or neon green, or sometimes forest green for Christmas time. But you know, we bought this the other day at that place that everybody ends up eventually if they die without Christ. It's called Walmart. So let's cut this end off, strip it, put it in the amp. Okay, so we've got the new cable snaked into the same position that the old cable was snaked into. On this one they decided instead of using black, white, and green, they used white with black stripe, white and green. So that shouldn't affect us at all, other than just being mildly inconvenient. And we just need to solder these in place. I've already tinned them, and there's quite a bit of wet solder on the lead that's, you know, fresh, and sorry if we just get a little bit of heat, that thing will bond and I won't really have to wrestle with it. I'm trying not to melt the upper wire here. Let's see if there's any way I can possibly pull that off of there. Nope. It ain't going nowhere. Alright, that's not the type of solder joint I really like to do. but sometimes you do what you have to do. Alright, I have to do the neutral, and all the clocks are reminding me of what they think of me. Alright, we'll put that through there. Give that a little bit of a mechanical connection bend. Heat it up. Give it a few seconds. This particular extension cord does not respond well to heat. I have to work quickly to not melt the crap out of it. But we're in a good way here. Feels like our switch on the face is a bit loose. We'll fix that before we bring it to life. I'm debating whether I want to trim that little piece of excess. It's not much, but it's there and it annoys me. And third, we need to solder the earth connection here. I probably want to pull a little bit more cord to make that easier to reach. Okay, we got it through. Let's put a dab of extra solder on that. And it popped out because reasons. Give that a split second to cool down, and then we'll give that a world of pull also. Yeah, that ain't going nowhere. So success there. And then we'll tighten this back up if we can. It's a lock washer on the back, or a lock nut. So okay, that's good. And then I need to put the strain relief back in. I don't think y'all need to see that filmed. And then we'll tighten the thing on the faceplate and then kick it into gear and see what happens. Okay, so not only is the strain relief installed, but I touched up the paint around my handiwork. Now that's just the kind of guy I am. Okay, now this was getting rattly and loose, or it was twisting or whatever, and I didn't like that. See, I can kind of twist it. So we're going to use one of these. These tools are available for a couple of bucks, and they're kind of made specifically for turning these. And because they do not get the grip of the Almighty on what you're turning, it really kind of does put a nice brake on how crazy you can torque these things, because we don't want to break our panel, right? We just want to make it snug. Okay, sacrificial speaker will come out. It's looking even more sacrificial than it has lately. Probably need to tape the cone a couple more times. But we're going to turn this on and kick the tires and light the fires. Like I say, I already did get a chance to check this out, and it kind of works. Okay, so our sacrificial speaker is hooked up. It's over there on the floor. You can actually see it. See it? There it is. So we'll kick the tires here and see if it explodes. Let's make sure the volume's knob's down. We'll put the treble and bass in the middle. Put the volume at nothing. Brights are off. And I didn't bother to plug it in. I knew there was an important step I forgot. Duh. I probably just put my head in the camera shot. Sorry about that. Alright, now it's plugged in. Okay. I need like some kind of catchphrase when I do this. And here we go. Wait a minute, what's going on with this? Is that... how is that attached? Okay, that circuit board has studs in it. I was like, that looked like it wasn't attached. It is. Here we go. That was a nice big thump it gave the speaker there. But these are kind of known to do that. Boy, the volume's quiet. A little bit of noise in that switch. That works. How about this side? Yep. This side is picking up a little more noise from what I don't know, but let's see if it amplifies a noisy signal. Yes. If I let go of the ground with my finger, I get way more buzzy noise. It's hard to hear the bass noise, but treble noise is super easy to hear. So that side wants to work. Let's check this input jack. A little bit different wiring just for a different tone. That's fine. And then we'll come over. What's weird on these K200s, even though they called the channel on this side the bright channel, it actually has more bass if you have the bright off. It's just the bassier channel. I feel like this thing needs nothing. We're going to clean the switches anyway. And we're going to let it cook for a while and see if it decides to make any horrible bad sounds. So, do y'all want to watch me clean the pots in this? Really? Well, this is a good visual we can at least see on this one. Okay, so this is what a preamp panel on a K200 looks like. And the pots are easily accessible by spraying a bit of cleaner right there. And then we turn the pot a whole bunch of times. And then for the switch, we spray some in there. And then we just click the switch a whole bunch of times. And then we do it again and again and again. Okay, so at this point nothing interesting has happened. I always find it weird that even though that light is purple, they always look different on camera. So, after cleaning the pots and switches, the weird little noise that liked to show up on its own after it had been sitting around a while was just a little bit of dirt in one of the inputs there. So we cleaned that. And it's just sitting here quietly idling. There's our little sacrificial speaker doing nothing. You know, these kind of make a little bit of a... They do have a little bit of a noise floor. When they just sit there, they kind of just go shh, just a little bit. And that's what it's doing. So, I've looked around for anything back here on our transistor power board that might have gotten hot. There's in the middle there, this thing. Come on, focus. Focus. Alright, anyway, that thing smack dab in the middle is the thermal sensor that'll cut the power if any of these power transistors are trying to catch fire. But everything's running cool, and so once we get past this stage, we're just going to be doing dirt busting, and then we'll call this thing ready to roll. We have a little bit of, you know, corrosion on the terminals, which is just the metals. That'll brush off. These caps aren't leaking. The thing's certainly not humming. These caps are really high grade, and they're not working under a lot of voltage.